New York Knickerbockers. A participating advertiser of today's game is Light Beer. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. New England Telephone, a call can keep you closer. Kelly Springfield Tire Company, we're out to change America's tires. Your local McDonald's restaurant, home of the Big Mac sandwich. You deserve a break today at McDonald's. Stop and Shop supermarkets. It's what goes on behind the shelves that makes a supermarket different. And the First National Bank of Boston, New England's leading bank, is looking for smaller companies with big ideas. And good afternoon, everyone. From Madison Square Garden in New York, this is Gil Santos, along with Celtics head coach Bill Fitch. And just by saying good afternoon, Bill, it's a whole change from what we had been expecting here in New York. It's supposed to be a night game. It's turned to a day game. What differences does that make? Does it become a concentration problem for the players?
Well, it's a little bit different. I think that you got to go out and concentrate and put the blinkers on for 2 hours, and it doesn't make any difference whether it's 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 2. Once you get in this building, it's going to be a little bit different Madison Square Garden atmosphere from the standpoint of the crowds and so forth, but the importance of the game hasn't changed just because the time has changed.
And this is a team that's played you tough twice here. They beat you once by 20, and then the other game you're way ahead, and they came on hard at the end on you.
Well, they play very well here. It's interesting to note they're starting Westfall and Richardson. They're going all out, as we will find everybody doing this time of the year. And it should be interesting to see how they match up with those two guards, because that's a pretty good combination.
And what's the scouting report been on Westfall? How's he been playing since he came back?
He's been playing very well. In fact, the last few ball games out, he's got his legs under him now, and he's playing well. He's a smart player, and they've been using him a little bit more with the ball and let Richardson go at the scoring spot. So that gives you a little bit different look than what we've normally look at when we come in here and play them.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All righty, we'll be back with the opening tap-off right after this.
When you shoot a lot of pool and bars, you want to stay fast and loose, and you don't want to get filled up. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. Plus, the taste is great. And even though a lot of people don't think pool is strenuous, let me tell you something. You can work up a real good thirst, even when you're just showing off.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Looky here.
Now, here's a McDonald's egg.
We're this close to winning $500,000 in McDonald's quality game. Just complete this section. Or we could win $500,000 instantly.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. A Coca-Cola or scrambled eggs and sausage.
With those fresh grade A eggs.
Just think, $500,000.
Why, I can redo the hen house.
Come on, Earl. We're gonna win big at McDonald's.
Good afternoon, everyone, once again from Madison Square Garden. It is game number 76 on the 1981-82 season for the Celtics as they meet the New York Knickerbockers in a highly unusual weekday afternoon game. This necessitated by the appearance in the Stanley Cup playoffs of the New York Rangers. And they have home ice in their first 2 games with Philadelphia, so they played last night and lost, and they'll be here again tonight against the Rangers. The Flyers and Rangers, so the Celtics and Knicks had to switch the game to this afternoon because the playoff game took priority over the regular season game. Thus, we are here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Robert, instead of having the 15,000 people that were expected to be here tonight for the Celtics-Knicks game, we're going to have barely 5, maybe 6,000 tops if they suddenly start to squeeze in the last 5 minutes or so, but it will not be a normal Madison Square Garden atmosphere. And, you know, this got to hurt the Knicks, obviously, who just aren't playing that well to begin with, but at least when you've got a 15,000 house roaring for you, I think kind of revs things up a little bit, but to have a half or more than half empty place isn't going to do them a whole heck of a lot of good.
I think without question it should work to Boston's advantage. You know, as we've said so often, that's what the home court advantage is all about, is the support given by a full house. Although we've also said in case of the Celtics in the past that sometimes it becomes counterproductive because they respond so well to that kind of hostility and challenge. Yep. That they normally get themselves up higher. So, you know, this might have kind of a downer effect on the Celtics as well. The time of day, I think, is irrelevant because both of these teams have played a number of times during the year on Sunday afternoons, weekend afternoons. So that doesn't mean too much. For some reason, when we used to play these afternoon games, and I never was able to explain it, for some reason, the offense was always featured as opposed to the defense. In other words, it became a run-and-shoot game in the old days. I haven't really noticed whether this holds true in these times as much, but whether you needed more time to psych yourself up to get out there and dig in and play the D or not, or whether it was just perhaps, my imagination on the whole thing. But I think this is generally what we're going to see between these two teams. They're going to go at each other. New York, despite being out of the playoffs, I'm sure is going to get themselves up as far as the Celtics are concerned, but I think it'll be probably a run-and-shoot game rather than a defensive battle.
All right, there you see the 4 of the 5 starting Knickerbockers. They'll have Campy Russell, Maurice Lucas at the forwards, Marvin Webster starting his 12th consecutive game at center, and at the guards, Michael Ray Richardson and Paul Westphal. The Celtics will counter with M.L. Carr, Tiny Archibald at the guards, Robert Parrish in the middle, Cedric Maxwell, and Kevin McHale up front. Our officials for tonight's game, or this afternoon's game, Jake O'Donnell and Ed Middleton are 2 officials this afternoon. O'Donnell number 11 and Middleton number 18. Bob, you were talking about defense, and this is something that in the game in Milwaukee a couple of nights back, the Celtics did not really dig in on defense throughout that game, with an exception of in the third quarter when they fell behind by 10. Then they put the defensive pressure on, got back in the game. But overall, it was not one of their better defensive games.
No, it wasn't. It's that time of the year. And the Celtics obviously have their position locked, and hopefully it'll be the best record in the league. So the rhetoric, not only in terms of the Celtics, but in terms of all the teams, starts to wear thin. In other words, the coaches can give at this point, in my opinion, their most impassioned plays. And it has less effect than it would earlier in the year when the guys are more receptive, simply because mentally they're fresher. So you will get these defensive letdowns this time of the year.
All right, Maurice Lucas as he hits on the cut to Marvin Webster for 2, and the Knicks have a 2-0 lead to start the game. The Celtics and Knicks, by the way, have played 4 times. Celtics have won 3. They lost once here, 103-83.
Evidently, Red Holtzman has decided to go with Webster the last few weeks at center and gone with the defensive center as opposed to the scorer, which Cartwright seems to have become.
All right, Paul Westphal, who's become more of a ball-handling point guard type here in New York. Loose ball, Celtics come up with it. Here comes M.L. Carr for a pair. By the response of the crowd, I think there may be more Celtics fans here than Knicks fans, to be honest with you. All right, New York, Westphal with the jumper, and it's still a 2-2 game, and the Celtics control the board after letting the hot potato bounce around a little bit.
I was really surprised to see the Knicks pick up Paul Westphal. Not in that Paul obviously is a very effective player and has proven it over the years, but it just does not seem to be what they needed at all.
No.
They let Ray Williams go. If they wanted a good, solid backcourt scorer type, and he's having a heck of a year at New Jersey, they could have fought a little harder for him. But I thought they were too much of a guard-oriented team last year with Williams and Michael Ray. Now they went inside more this year, and they went back and picked up. Well, this is very loose.
I was just going to say to you, because talk about
so far
no defensive pressure right now. This is
so far both teams are just standing around without the slightest concentration defensively.
Webster hits the turnaround shot, and the game is tied at 6. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. 4 points for Webster, 4 of New York's 6. All right, Robert Parrish, who has picked up 4 points as well for the Celtics. Now McHale taking this turnaround that rims. Rebound fell right into the hands of Webster. And Michael Ray Richardson, who's had some spectacular games against the Celtics and a couple of less than spectacular games.
Yeah,
my goodness, you talk about lack of intensity.
It's like sleepwalking, really. Again, this is not unusual for these afternoon games, but I wish I had a good reason for it. I don't. But maybe it's a change of routine. Although basketball players aren't really aware what day of the week it is. I mean, they're on the road so often that Sundays are like Mondays. But this doesn't happen at much weekends, as I say.
All right, the jump hook is missed by Maxwell. The Knicks lead 8-6 here. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter from Madison Square Garden. All right, Campy Russell and now Maurice Lucas, and they swing it around to Paul Westphal on the baseline for a little double pumper that won't go. And Robert Parrish to Gerald Henderson. The crowd of about 5,000 or 6,000 so far. Very quiet. Robert Parrish, the rebound. No, and the foul is called on Parrish. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul charged against Robert Parrish. His first personal foul.
Let's take a peek at this. Henderson.
Yeah, there's the Henderson penetration. Frankly, I thought Henderson might have picked up more of an offensive foul than Robert Parrish did.
All right, Michael Richardson with Gerald Henderson on him. Carr, of course, is on Westfall. The forward matchup, McHale is on Lucas. You see Lucas shooting there and missing the shot. And Campy Russell also missing. Maxwell the board.
You know what? There's such a laxity in the defensive effort, as we pointed out, that it's affecting the shooters. You notice they're so free, they don't know how to respond so far.
McHale on the turnaround. And it does not fall for him, but a foul will be called on the Knicks. Foul is called on Paul Westfall. Be 2 shots coming up for Kevin McHale. That is the first foul on the Knicks in the first quarter. McHale shooting 2. Kevin rolling along with a fine season, averaging 13.7 a game, almost 7 rebounds a game. His high this season, 28, and against Milwaukee on Tuesday night, he had 27. Kevin also second in the team in block shots with 158. Shooting 53% from the floor, 77% from the foul line, and he likes Wheaties.
Not too bad for the second-year player.
8-8. We're tied. 8:10 to go in the quarter. I know you've been very high on McHale, Bob, since he came into the league. And this is only his second year.
No place to go but up, so he's going to continue to improve and I think become more effective as he absorbs NBA experience.
The Knicks have missed their last 3 shots. Last 4 shots make it. All right, the inbound play comes to Campy Russell, but the ball was knocked out of bounds, and the Knicks will try again. Now Russell will try to put it in play for New York. Webster, Michael Ray Richardson, who has not scored yet. They swing it around to Westfall. Lucas. Blocked by McHale.
Is that pretty?
159 blocks on the season. That was a corker.
He timed that beautifully.
Oh, Robert Parrish getting Webster to commit and then going up over the top. 10-8 Celtics. Parrish 6 points. 7.5 minutes to go first quarter.
We got one team in double figures at least. See if we can get both of them in there.
Richardson on a fancy move. Word in New York is that Richardson will probably be playing basketball elsewhere next season. Of course, they're going to probably name a new coach here as well, which is another one of the hot rumors in town. Stolen ball by Westfall. He gets the lead pass. Blocked by ML. What a great play.
Outstanding. Westfall is shaking. He doesn't know. He was just kind of floating in for a nice, easy layup here. He knew he had to step on the field, and he protected, you see, with his body. ML still got in there. Outstanding defensive play.
Oh, beauty. Westfall had about a 5-step lead on him, and ML caught him. So with 6:52 to go in the first quarter, we'll take a break. It is Boston 10, New York 10.
It's what goes on behind the shelves that makes a supermarket different.
Well, the way to make great deli meats is actually to make them yourself. We cook our own meat in our Stop and Shop kitchens. It lets us control everything, from the seasoning right down to the final slice in the store. Well, that's how we offer great tasting meats and a variety of deli platters at an appetizing price.
Stop and Shop. The difference is behind our shelves.
You're a growing business looking for money, and it seems wherever you turn, the odds are against you. Unless you find a bank that works with you. Bank of Boston. We've been working with growing companies for almost 200 years because we believe growing companies should get the money they deserve, and we know they can't afford to wait for it. That's why we offer so many alternatives to conventional financing and respond to our customers fast. Put the odds in your favor. Call Bank of Boston, the bank at work.
This thin piece of paper can keep a burglar out of your home. Call your police department about Operation Identification.
This telecast is presented by authority of the Boston Celtics and WBZ TV Sports, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Boston Celtics and WBZ-TV is prohibited. 10-10, 6:52 to go, first quarter. Celtics shooting 44%, the Knicks 35. 8 rebounds for the Celtics, 6 for New York. Westfall, baseline air ball, right into the hands of Maxwell.
I don't know if Paul is trying too hard or not enough, but has he scored yet?
He has 2 points.
Taken about 8 shots, I believe.
Henderson, and the basket does not go. The foul called underneath. Foul called, a hand-checking foul is called on Maurice Lucas. That'll be the second on the team, the first on Lucas. Maxwell to put it in play for the Celtics. Gerald Henderson with the basketball. All right, Maxwell, the pick and roll, and it won't go. Henderson turning up the shot. Shot missed. New York back quickly. Neither team shooting 50% so far. Westfall. Now Webster. Another shot for Westfall. He gets it. He's got 4 points. Henderson all the way through. Beautiful move.
Beautiful. Again, not the slightest attempt defensively to stop him. All Richardson on the other end. So
boy, he just put it in overdrive. 14-12.
The complete lack of concentration continues on the part of both teams, really. They're just waving at people. They're not assuming a defensive position or stance at all.
Good defensive play there by Maurice Lucas as he got in the passing lane. M.R. Richardson brings it back for the Knicks. Campy Russell, a pretty good outside shooter, misses the shot, and Parrish sweeps it away. Celtics are 3 on 3, now 4 as Maxwell joined the crew. Max, nice feed inside, but he doesn't get the hoop. Keeps the ball alive, and a loose ball foul is called on Cedric Maxwell. For the Celtics, that will be team foul number 1. Watch this.
Yeah, another example again of, you see, Lucas just gives him token opposition. He kind of just stuck his hip in the way, and another demonstration of the shots being so easy and unattended that the players are missing them. You know, as we've said, most good players would prefer to have 3 guys hanging over them in order to make shots, and generally they do, as opposed to the defense ignoring them.
Gerald Henderson just committed a foul. There's a shot of Bill Fitch as Westfall fired a fastball right down the chute to Richardson, who tried to pop it in all in one motion. He was fouled. Larry Bird coming in for the Celtics with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. He replaces M.L. Carr, so Bird will be at a guard position. Now here comes Tiny Archibald as well. Let's see. Now, no, Tiny won't be checking in right this instant. 2 shots for Richardson. First one is good. Now Archibald is in, replacing Henderson. So the guards, Henderson and Carr, are out. Archibald and Larry Bird are now playing the guards.
Well, I think Bill Fitch is trying to insert, well, obviously a little life in the team because this is the time when you've got a team loafing as badly as the Knicks are and away from home. This is the time where you want to get yourself a little cushion. So if the Celtics would, instead of matching the Knick effort, you know, put it in high gear for a while and speed up play, they could, you know, be sitting on the 20-point cushion in a hurry here.
All right, then it comes to Larry Bird, and he is fouled by Richardson. So Bird will be to the line to shoot 2.
It'll give them, as I say, perhaps, well, I want to say a little more speed. Certainly Tiny in the open court, if he's pushing the ball up the floor quickly, will generate as much speed as anyone on the team as far as the Celtics running their break, and putting Larry in the backcourt doesn't do them any harm as far as playing him on Richardson. He's got that kind of mobility where he probably can guard him, and he's the one who's hurt the Celtics the most this year. And it gives him another big guard, another rebounder. In fact, Bill Fitch is sending him all over the floor to pick up. So
Bird is on Westfall right now. Bird is on Westfall. Archibald is on Richardson. Russell and now Michael Ray Richardson immediately takes it to the hoop. Basket counts. And foul called on Archibald. So Richardson's at the line for 1. The tail end of that one. Trying to make it a 3-point play. 4:40 to go. Richardson with 8 points. 4:40 left first quarter. 9 points for Michael Ray Richardson. And it's New York with a 5-point lead at 19-14. Neither team shooting well.
Tiny is bringing it over as quickly as possible. McHale and Bird just collided.
Robert Parrish, a rainbow jumper from about 17 feet. 8 points for Parrish, and it's 19-16 New York. Westfall tries to move on Bird. Lucas, and a foul is going to be called on Webster. Loose ball as he dropped Bird to the floor with a roundhouse right. First on Webster, the fourth on the Knicks. All right, Celtics are down 3, 19-16. Archibald. Looking inside, got Maxwell, jump hook. 1 point lead for New York now. Celtics play tomorrow night at home. Celtics play in the New Jersey Nets. The block by Parrish, stolen by Richardson.
Good job by Robert Parrish, and Richardson shows us why he's second in the league, I believe, in steals. He is extremely quick. Came
Bill
in from
Cartwright.
the backside.
Second personal on Richardson. Bill Cartwright is in for the Knicks. And Marvin Webster stays in. So Westfall goes out. That puts Campy Russell at a guard with Richardson. One shot for Russell, 1 plus the bonus. Makes the first one. No, that wasn't the bonus. That was the he was fouled in the act of shooting. Sorry about that. One more for Campy Russell. You could hear that one clank away. 20-18. New York by 2. 3:40 to go in the quarter. Tiny Archibald does not tie it up, but Parrish gets the offensive board, and the Celtics have a fresh 24. Richardson on Archibald. Russell is on Bird. They try to go to Parrish, but Robert went to the right and the ball went to the left. 5 turnovers for the Celtics. Richardson all the way through, partially blocked by Bird. Bird slaps the ball out of Cartwright's hands. Richardson making the steal, but he stepped out of bounds with it.
That's the same play he made a moment ago on Robert Parrish. After that fine defensive play, Robert brought it down, and Richardson came right in, stole it away, and that time he did again, except he stepped out of bounds.
Shot of Bill Fitch.
Play continues to be quite ragged. I don't know if that needs any confirmation. I'm sure anyone watching the game can see that. Not only defensively now, but their ball handling and both teams shooting well below their averages, I think, is the result of it as well.
Parrish getting away for 2. Robert has 10 points, and the game is tied at 20. Parrish has half of the Celtics' points. Lucas, and they get it into Cartwright, and this could be an offensive foul. No, traveling. Traveling is the call in New York. It'll be Celtic ball, but the Celtics grab a timeout. With 2 minutes and 39 seconds to play in the first quarter, we have timeout on the floor from Madison Square Garden in New York. It is 20-20.
I've had to write some tough things about some tough guys. But there's one guy I can't write anything bad about. His unique brand of baseball has made him a living legend. So have his commercials. They got me to try his favorite beer, light beer from Miller. Light's less filling, and it really tastes great. So I bought this light for that renowned, yet humble man, Marv Thrunker.
Cheer up, Billy. One day you'll be famous just like me.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Enter the Lowenbrow Celtic Sweepstakes. Win season tickets and other exciting prizes. Entry blanks and details are available at participating Lowenbrow retailers.
Steve Wade is a nuclear-trained engineer, but he's not on his way to your local power plant. Steve works in the Navy, where nuclear energy has been used for years to power the fleet. Every day, some of the best people in their fields work in the Navy, using today's technology to help pioneer better resources for our future. Men and women who believe being the best at what they do also means a little bit more when it's done for their country. Navy know-how. It's working for America.
The all-new world champion Celtics 1981-82 yearbook now available. 48 pages crammed with great color shots by Dick Rayfield showing the Celtics championship road number 14. You can order the Celtics yearbook by sending $4 to Celtics yearbook, Post Office Box 5, Boston 02114.
It's interesting to note that Red Holtzman made the matchup change when Larry Bird went to guard. He brought Westfall out and put Campy Russell in the guard position.
Oh, Robert Parrish missed the shot. Got the rebound off Maxwell's missed shot, and Marvin Webster had him in a arm lock around the neck.
I'll tell you.
Good grief. A stranglehold.
Jake O'Donnell is looking at Webster as if to say, what's with you, pal? You're out of your mind. Look at that move.
Look at that.
I think Webster got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. He needs a little more time for the game and get in a little better mood, because there's no excuse for that. Robert Parrish could have hurt himself pretty severely on that. Fortunately, he maintained
well, he fell on him,
balance,
too.
and he fell on Webster as opposed
Webster.
to hitting the ground.
I'll tell you, Robert was shaken, however, when he...
well, he couldn't believe
it.
You know,
Yeah, you're right. He couldn't believe
it. Just flung him to the ground.
So he gets them both. The Celtics lead 22-20 after Marvin Webster's stranglehold.
Getting back to this one-guard offense they're both using in terms of identifying players as guard, I think, again, the advantage would go to the Celtics. Larry Bird, obviously, is better equipped to play guard, has played more guard than Campy Russell. So I think it's kind of a defensive response to the Celtics putting Bird back there.
All right, Campy Russell ties the game at 22. We have 2 minutes to go in the quarter, and Robert Parrish now has 14 points. 24-22 Celtics. Celtics so far 8 for 14. New York 8 for 21 from the floor. Look at this. Basket counts for Bill Cartwright, and the foul will be called on Parrish, his third personal foul.
That's Parrish's third personal foul. 3 on Parrish.
All right, take a look at it.
That is, Cartwright gets the good position. He has been in the games this year between these two teams. He has been much more physical than in the past. And he has been intentionally trying to muscle Robert Parrish under there and get him pick up some early fouls on him. And it's been relatively successful in a couple of the earlier games.
20-second timeout.
Celtics take a 20-second timeout with 1 minute and 36 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and so ML Carr will check in for the Celtics. Robert Parrish will go out. That'll put McHale at center, and Bird and Maxwell the forwards. Now Carr comes into the game, and he'll play at a guard with Archibald. 3 personal fouls on Robert Parrish. Robert has 14 of the Celtics' 24 points as they trail by 1, 25-24, with 1 minute and 36 to play in the quarter. And when you've only scored 24 points, you don't want the guy who's got 14 of them to have to go out. No other Celtic, Jim Stamos, our crack statistician, tells us, has more than 2 points in this first quarter. All right, Larry Bird up top, missing the jumper. As number 43, Toby Knight, came down with it. He has just checked in for the Knicks. Knight replacing, let's see, he's moved into a forward spot. Knight, now you're looking at Russell, and the steal by Larry Bird. Celtics are 3 on 3. Now they've got to slow it up. All right, Toby Knight is in for New York as he has replaced, Richardson's still in there. Who did he replace? Bird on the turnaround does not go. Webster, all right, that's right. Webster went out. Foul on Richardson, New York's 5th of the first quarter, and Larry Bird will be to the line to shoot 2. He hasn't hit a floor shot yet. Had a couple of free throws so far. And Larry will shoot 2 more right now. 25-24, the Knicks by 1 point, 55 seconds left in the first quarter. Randy Smith and Mike Newland come in for New York. Newland, number 14, Smith, number 9. They replace Campy Russell and M.R. Richardson.
Both of them pretty good shooters, and that may be one of the difficulties with the Knicks backcourt this year, is they really need a playmaker. They have, in my opinion, for the last couple of years. Plenty of offense back there. Ray Williams and Michael Ray last year could light up that scoreboard, and this kid Newland, good hard-nosed backcourt kid, but predominantly a shooter, doesn't play D that effectively, and of course Randy Smith, who's been an offensive player for years at this league. But they don't have a stabilizing force in that backcourt, the kid who can set up these other guys.
26-25, the Celtics by 1 now, and Larry Bird's 2 free throws with 45 seconds to go in the quarter. Newland, who likes to shoot, and a rebound rammed in by Cartwright. Very aggressive offensive rebound by Bill Cartwright. 27-26 now, New York by 1.
Belson has continued to make the mistake, in my judgment, of falling into, not the Knicks that necessarily in terms of complacency. I don't think that's part of the Knicks strategy, but the fact is,
nice job.
Mikhail puts it in. You know, the Knickerbocker lethargy seems to be contagious, and the Celtics are doing the same thing and not exploiting the fact that they could have built themselves a nice little cushion here early in the game. But this may not continue.
Cartwright firing up a left-hander at the buzzer. It does not go, and so the Celtics on the lay-in by Kevin McHale off the tip over from Maxwell. The Celtics lead, so after the end of one quarter. From Madison Square Garden, it's 28-27 Boston.
So, have you asked your brother about his new boat yet?
I forgot.
Well, why don't you just call him?
It's his turn to call me.
Jerry.
We always take turns.
Jerry, pretend it's your turn. Say you forgot.
Okay.
When you call weeknights after 5, no operator involved, you can get a low rate. A 5-minute call 40 miles within Massachusetts for just 89 cents.
Jerry! Oh, you're both terrific!
Ever since launching, the Voyager has been sending back fantastic pictures from the road. The Voyager radial tire from Kelly Springfield, delivering all the treadwear, delivering all the traction, delivering all the fuel economy our computer said it would. The Kelly Voyager radial. We put space technology on the road. Kelly Springfield. We're out to change America's tires.
Under WBZ-TV's contractual arrangements with the Boston Celtics for this telecast, the announcers for this game have been selected by station WBZ-TV, subject to the approval of the Boston Celtics Club.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy at Madison Square Garden in New York. It's 28-27. The Celtics lead by a point. First quarter stats, Celtics 48% from the floor, New York 41. Richardson with 9 for New York, Parrish 14 for the Celtics, the leading scorers. Celtics out-rebounding New York 15-9. So far, not the most intensely played quarter basketball we've seen this season, Robert.
You noticed that, huh?
Well, it came to me all of a sudden in a flash.
The 5,000 people have noticed it, too. They may start leaving early unless we can build a fire under these two clubs.
All right, Larry Bird still operating with Knight on him. Now ML taking Newland to the hoop, and he misses the shot. Oh, New York comes away with it. Celtics up by 1 point. Well, when you ask Don Larrick to get you a soft drink, he doesn't mess around, does he?
Oh, wrong.
Looks like I got a gallon of it. Mike,
I think this is for this afternoon and tomorrow night, too. We have to bring this back.
Fouls on Kevin McHale. We have to take this back to Boston with us?
This is even bigger than an iced tea container in Milwaukee the other night.
Which was one of the all-time greats.
All right. King Kong.
Nice shot, Mike. Did you see that shot? My goodness.
Mike got in trouble with Boston's finest the last time we were here, wasn't it?
Yes, he did.
Stomped on their banner there. Had a group down of Boston policemen, and they were parading around at halftime with a banner.
Celtics leading by 3 on Maxwell's hoop, 30-27. Knight, Smith, Newland, Webster now with the basketball, and Cartwright in for New York. Nice move by Webster, and then he blew the layup. Loose ball. Cedric Maxwell with it.
Yeah, it was a good fake, but Marvin forgot that he can't shoot.
Larry Bird. Bird with a left hand and a high dribble, in essence, passed to himself as he bounced the ball forward about 2 feet and came to a stop, picked the ball out of the air and fired it all in one motion. 6 points for Larry Bird, 32-27 Celtics. Another missed New York shot. Bird the rebound. Post pattern to Maxwell. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Pretty.
Nice high looping ball. Full court to Max. Picked up a little snow on the way down. And Max laid it in with a nice little 360 move to the basket.
So the Celtics on a run of 8 points, lead at 34-27.
When you're a big guy like me, people always want to see just how strong you are. So after this arm works, this arm always relaxes with light beer from Miller. The light's got a third less calories than the regular beer, and it tastes great. What I like about it, it's less filling. When you're in a hot match like this, you can't afford to get filled up.
You have the time?
Yeah. About 8:30.
Yeah, thanks.
Like beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Next.
Be sure to play our $20 million quality game.
Think I could win?
Sure. Hundreds of thousands of possible winners every day.
Wouldn't mind winning some of this 100% All-American beef.
Maybe we're an instant winner. Coca-Cola, a quarter pounder, maybe even $500,000. Oh, I can't look.
You won!
I won! I won! I won! I bet you can.
Ask McDonald's.
On the move. Wherever news happens, Sky I-4 is there. The one station with more live reports. Today's 4.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy here at Madison Square Garden, reminding you to stay tuned following today's Celtics-Knicks game for Hawaii Five-0. A wealthy rancher intends to administer his own kind of justice to the suspected killer of his son. Hawaii Five-0 this afternoon after the Celtics game on Channel 4. Book 'em, Deno. 10:20 to go, first half. Celtics with an 8-point run, leading 34-27 over the Knicks. As Richardson is back in for the New York Knickerbockers with Newland at the guards. Knight, Cartwright, and Webster up front. Newland, 900-mile-an-hour pass, ends up in the nickel seats. Oh, the Celtics bring it back. To say that New York is playing a little sloppy over the last few minutes would be kind.
Well, based on the record since the All-Star game, I think they simply threw the towel in early. They lost 12 out of 19 since then when they were in a position to make a pretty good run for the playoffs. This is a team that won, what, 52 games last year.
A year ago at this time, Coos, they were 45-30. Right now, they are 32-43.
And, you know, they've got a good shot at losing 52 this year with theoretically a better ball club. There's ML taking it up. Newland, I guess, got a piece of them.
ML Carr with 2 shots, and the first one won't go. On New York, that was team foul number...
I think it's number 1.
Number 1, yeah, in the quarter. One more for ML Carr. Make it a 9-point run for the Celtics. They were down 27-26 late in the first quarter with about 15 seconds to go, and have gone ahead since then with a 9-0 run for a 35-27 lead. Toby Knight. Knight had a pretty good game against the Celtics last time we came in here at 19 points.
Yeah,
Bird on the steal from Webster.
Good job.
Another down-court pass, and it's 2. Great job by Larry Bird defensively, stealing the ball from Webster and then firing a bullet to Cedric Maxwell.
Outstanding. Again, Bird quick hands. Not only the best passing forward in the league, but I'll tell you, I bet he's the quickest in terms of his hands, with the exception of perhaps Dr. J. But
Richardson breaks the Celtic 11-0 run. Oh, and it's 37-29 Boston. Larry Bird all the way to the hole. Going to be called for an offensive foul.
Offensive foul charged against Larry Bird, his first personal foul.
Bird turned the 16-footer down in favor of this drive to the basket, but as you can see, draws a crowd, and no question about the foul, as we've said so often. When that hand goes out, Richardson from the corner again. That's a very obvious foul that the officials look for, so Bird picks up his first foul.
Bird answers back with 2 of his own. 8.5 minutes to go, second quarter, 39-31. The offense picking up a bit on both sides. Richardson, 13 points for the Knicks. Newland on a runner. Gets the good roll. Both clubs now starting to pick up offensive intensity anyway. Bird getting Russell in the air now, finding Maxwell underneath. Max with a great spinning move. Boy, I tell you, he has such lightning-like moves, Bob, inside.
Well, not only that, but he senses where the defense is. You know, we've talked about guys turning blind into pressure. Max that time sensed that he had Lucas coming on the outside. He gave him a good fake. He went for the sky hook, and then he used his body to force the other big man on his back and out of the play.
Watch this pass by Larry Bird here.
There's Max sliding in from that weak side. Notice some fake Lucas out of the play, and then he gets the other guy on his back to get the easy layup.
Celtics with a 6-point lead, 7.5 minutes to go in the quarter, 41-35. Archibald on the floor with Carr, Bird, Maxwell, and Kevin McHale. The shot is missed by Larry Bird. They had hit 6 consecutive field goals. Richardson with great speed accelerating to the front court, and a blocking foul call on ML Carr. Now Chris Ford will come in for the Celtics. What did I say, Carr? No, it was Archibald picked up the foul. ML comes out, and Richardson puts it in play. Richardson missing the shot, and McHale wins the fight for the loose ball. 2-on-2, now 3-on-2. Archibald has it stripped out of his hands by Westfall and off the knee of Tiny Archibald, so New York will bring it down. 7:09 to go in the first half. Celtics with a 6-point lead right now. Their biggest has been 10 at 39-29. The lob to Cartwright. No basket. Foul called on McHale, his second. And the Celtics' third team foul. Gerald Henderson in for the Celtics there, number 43, replacing Tiny Archibald. You're looking at Bill Cartwright at the foul line.
No, Cartwright likes to create contact, so you've got to be careful, otherwise you can pick up some quick fouls on him. On the other hand, if you move and position yourself quickly, you can anticipate his leaning in. Sometimes you'll pick up the charge because he doesn't go with that kind of finesse, but he wants contact every time he goes to the basket. He feels, obviously, with his frame, that he's going to, have more of an impact on the man who's guarding him in terms of kicking him off balance and not allowing him to block the shot.
All right, Cartwright hitting the first free throw. He's a good foul shooter. You see, averaging 14.8 a game. 78.5% free throw shooter. Knocks them both home. So it's 41-37. The Celtics lead is down to 4 with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Rick Roby is in. He has replaced Cedric Maxwell. All right, Roby. Chris Ford is in. Larry Bird trying to take Russell low. Larry doesn't get the shot, and the ball is out of bounds off the Celtics. It'll be New York ball.
Good job. A little bit of a forced shot there on Larry Bird's part. He had drawn a double team, and as we've seen him do so often, he normally can pick out that three-man quickly. That time he forced the shot.
Lucas with McHale on him, and now Westfall as they work a little give and go. Stripped out of his hands by Henderson, but Cartwright gets the loose ball and banks it in. Oh, the Celtics lead is down to 2 points, 41-39. 6:10 left in the half. McHale to the hoop for 2.
That time Bird found the free man, and it eventually produced the basket. Henderson was the man. They sent him to the basket. He drew the corresponding defensive rotation, and of course, in turn, went to the free man. It was McHale, got the layup.
Okay, Russell and now Lucas. Campy Russell. Nice drive for 2. 43-41. 5:40 left, first half. Madison Square Garden. We're on the air tomorrow night, 7:30. Here on Channel 4, the Celtics and the New Jersey Nets. Ball slapped out and stolen by Westfall for 2.
Outstanding alert play by Westfall. He knocked it out of Ford's hand. Watch this. And the Celtics didn't respond to it. Joe finally kind of meandered over there. Henderson, and Westfall again alertly knocked it out of Henderson's hand.
So New York on a run of 14-4 has tied the game at 43-43.
Some ideas are so simple, they're easy to overlook. Some so complicated, they're hard to understand. Others have even been called long shots. At Bank of Boston, we're looking for smaller companies with big ideas. Our business is to recognize them and develop them. To us, it's not the size of your company, it's the size of your idea. Put your bright idea to work at New England's leading bank, Bank of Boston. The bank at work.
Behind the specials on Stop & Shop shelves is an army of buyers. Every day, they comb the market for values that mean big savings for Stop & Shop customers. When our buyers hear of a good deal, they buy in large quantities and stock our warehouse so low prices last longer.
Like Kraft Philadelphia cream cheese and Colonial semi-boneless ham.
Stop & Shop. The difference is behind our shelves.
Be sure to vote for the Stop and Shop Celtic Player of the Game at any participating Stop and Shop. No purchase necessary. If your ballot is drawn to the televised game, you win a $25 Stop and Shop gift certificate. And if it correctly names the Celtic Player of the Game, you win a $100 Stop and Shop gift certificate instead.
Here's that last play. Well, we saw the end of it. He'd already stripped Ford, who exposed the ball a little bit to him. Ball with good quick hands. And then caught Gerald with kind of a lazy move to the basket. Took it away from him, too.
McHale on the baseline turnaround to give the Celtics a lead at 45-43.
8 points for Kevin McHale.
Just noticed on the information board here at Madison Square Garden something that I did not have to see on the information board to know. The circus is in the Garden right now. And Westfall ties the game.
Just because our eyes have been watering for the last 20 minutes, you think that had something to do with it?
As soon as you walked in the door, you knew the circus was in the Garden.
Yes, sir.
Little gamey. Henderson behind the Roby pick, does not get his shot, but McHale with a great play. You know, Kevin's been our Celtic Player of the Game the last 2 televised games, and he's playing once again like he would like to win that honor.
Well, Kevin doesn't need to have the defensive assignment break down to be effective on the offensive board. He overwhelms people, and he has good timing, good sense.
Creates his own.
But now, as I say, the boxing out assignments as the defensive assignments have been non-existent on the part of both teams. So the alert offensive rebounders are having a field day in a game like
this. Nice play by Roby, slapping the ball. Chris Ford gets fouled by Michael Richardson. The play was made possible by the defensive play by Rick Roby as he reached in and slapped the pass away. It'll be Celtics ball. That's the second team foul on the Knicks in the quarter. 4:16 left, Boston by 2 here in the first half. They had led by as many as 10. Ford with Westfall on him, and a foul is called, a tripping foul called on Paul Westfall. Reggie Carter comes in for New York, replacing Richardson. Reggie Carter, number 35 into the game, replacing Richardson, you see there. Carter, 6'3", guard from St. John's in New York.
Now, he comes about the closest to a playmaking guard that the Knicks have. But he just doesn't have the tempo to get the job done.
Little pivot move.
Yeah, who had a nice flurry, by the way, in Milwaukee the other night, I thought.
Yes.
You know, for someone who has not played that much the last month or two, why, he came in and got three good, tough hoops there when the time the Celtics needed them.
Celtics ball coming down as it's off New York. 3 minutes, 38 seconds to play. First half, Boston by 4, 49-45. Roby has just set a thunderous pick, and Reggie Carter, in response, threw an elbow at him, and he got caught for the foul. See, what happened was Roby had set a pick in the backcourt. You see the little confrontation there.
Yeah, they're still yapping, but...
And Roby had set the pick, and Carter ran into it. Then when they got down the floor, Carter, when he went running by Roby, I saw him flank him with an elbow, and as he did that, referee Ed Middleton was looking right at him. So he got caught.
The question of timing
when
you're going to foul intentionally. However, the destroyer's back in the game.
It's a flagrant foul, and he has been thrown out of the game. He has been thrown out of the game, I believe.
Well, they have that option.
Yes.
Yeah,
Carter's still yapping with Roby.
Yapping at him.
Yeah.
Well, they have that option, the officials, if they feel it was, you know, the degree of how flagrant it happened to be.
Red
Holtzman is fighting
his case. But now the crowd gets into it. We see Randy Smith, number 9, coming in for the Knicks. Reset this whole thing for you. With the ball still in the backcourt and the Celtics coming down, Roby set a pick. And Carter ran right into it as, I think it was Henderson, cut by Roby with a basketball. And Roby then turned and came up the floor, and Carter came up behind him. And as he came alongside him, he caught him with an elbow. There goes Reggie Carter, thrown out of the game. Reggie Carter came by and swung an elbow at Roby and was called for an intentional flagrant foul and was ejected from the game.
Well, Robes can set some pretty thunderous picks out there, but I didn't see the one in question, so it's hard to tell if there was anything other than a legitimate pick involved.
It was a pick.
You know, when you catch a guard moving quickly from the blind side, and as I say, with a legitimate pick, well, you can get his attention. It can rattle a little guard's teeth, I'll tell you, even at 6'2", and Carter's built pretty well.
Rick Roby missing one of the two. Loose ball, it'll be off Larry Bird. So it'll be New York ball coming down. 50-45, the Celtics by 5 with 3.5 minutes to go in the first half as the Celtics increase a little defensive pressure on the ball.
Well, maybe all the yapping will create a little intensity in this game. Let's see what happens here.
All right, Paul Westphal with it now as he runs into Roby, and Roby's called for a block. The play happened away from the ball in the backcourt as Carter was trying to come up the floor and stay with Henderson. That is the 15th foul on the Celtics, by the way. He ran into the pick, and that started the whole thing. Westphal at the line to shoot, 1 plus the penalty for New York. And he gets the first one. Westphal in limited time this season, only signed and been playing for about the last 3 weeks or so, is averaging 11.5 a game. His high has been 19. He's been shooting 75% from the foul line. He gets them both. 3:14 left in the first half, 50-47. Game is starting to creep upward and become a little sharper, moving out of the lethargy it had early. Foul on Maurice Lucas. That'll be the 5th on New York. And now Kevin McHale will go to the line to shoot 1 plus the bonus for the Celtics. On the floor for the Knicks right now, Westphal, Smith, Webster, Lucas, and Russell. For the Celtics, Henderson, Ford, McHale, Bird, and Roby. Parrish sitting down with 3 personal fouls. Kevin pulling the string on that one and missing the first shot. Kevin very distressed this morning. The Minnesota North Stars lost last night in the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Kevin is a big North Stars fan. Everybody was riding a little bit on the bus. I had Randy Smith.
Hard to imagine Kevin on ice skates, isn't it?
Well, you know, he was a defenseman.
Yeah.
Until he grew to about 6'7", and that ended his hockey career, but he had been a defenseman.
Grew right out of his skates and into his
That's right,
basketball shoes, right?
But he likes the game of hockey. All right, Ford on the runner. I'd say he's put in a couple of dandy shots here.
Yes,
First,
he
the
has.
left-handed 1950s type Neil Johnston hook, and now a little runner.
Ooh. There's a name out of the past.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of ages, my colleague.
Oh,
Neil Johnson.
Yeah, when I was real young, all you guys were my heroes. 53-51, Celtics by 2 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Roby backing in on Webster. Rick with a jump hook.
Good job by Roby.
Yeah, I was only 4 or 5 years old at the time, Coos.
Despite being 5'8".
Oh, see, now you're gonna start picking on me because of my lack of size.
No, I meant when you were 4 or 5, you were 5'8".
Oh.
Allegedly.
Oh, Bird, a behind-the-back move. This is going to go. No. McHale, Roby, foul on Rick Roby. Thought when it left his hands that was in for sure, and it missed. Oh, New York will be at the line to shoot 1 plus the bonus with 1:35 to go in the first half. Well, watch this one more time here as Roby commits the foul.
I think the boys are looking for Roby a little bit now. Robe is also a physical player, as we've talked about Webster and Cartwright. And Robe will bang and slam around there pretty well, but I think that confrontation with Carter kind of called attention to him because they've called 2 quick half fouls on him here that possibly could have been avoided.
2 free throws good for Marvin Webster. So it's a 2-point Boston lead. 55-53, minute and a half left in the first half. Gerald Henderson. Randy Smith is the man guarding him. Roby looping it into McHale. Blocked by Lucas. Nice defensive play by Lucas. They doubled up on McHale. Westphal loses the ball. Ford has it. Bird has the ball knocked out of his hands, but he finds Henderson. Gerald off to Chris Ford, and he floats it in. 3 good first half hoops for Chris Ford, all of them important.
Good
Boston
job
by 4.
Off a nice feed by Henderson, by the way. Fitzgerald had a lot of options there, but he held it up just long enough to allow the play to develop and to allow Chris Ford to get into position for that penetration.
Randy Smith forcing up a shot with 40 seconds to go in the half. Bird leading the fast break to McHale. No. Lucas. Now Smith. New York 3-on-2. Campy Russell to Westfall. Pulls up short as he pulled the string on it. Boston ball with 27 seconds to go in the half. New York, very ragged there.
It's incredible how a professional team can look this undisciplined offensively. Even on a fast break that time, they had two guys in one lane. They have no idea who should be in what position, and even if they do get the floor balance, they get very, very weak movement.
Oh, great feed, but the basket doesn't fall for Bird. He'll try it again. No. Great feed that was by Henderson. Lucas, three-point shot. We've come to the end of a, shall we say, loosely played first half, mon ami.
That would be giving them the benefit of the doubt, I would say.
The Celtics had 28-27, a one-point lead in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they scored 29. New York scored 26. So at halftime, the Celtics are on top by 4 points. It is Boston 57, the New York Knickerbockers 53. This is Bob Cousy back at Madison Square Garden after you heard Bob chatting with Larry Brown of the New Jersey Nets. Celtics lead by 4 at the half, 57-53. Not too many folks from Boston up for this game, obviously, since we're playing in the afternoon. If we had played tonight, I'm sure they had a mob here from Boston, but those that did show up with the greetings and salutations, hi to East Boston and Sugary's Corner from Pat, Willie, and Ken. They wanted to let all their buddies know they had arrived. Charlie Min, who is here at the game, watches all the Celtics games on cable here on Long Island and enjoys the game. Matt and David Tempest from Belmont are also in New York right now watching the Celtics here this afternoon. What has happened so far in the first half, the Celtics are shooting 53%, New York 46%. Free throws, the Celtics 11 of 14 for 78% plus. New York 11 out of 12 for almost 92%. But Bob, the boards is the story. The Celtics with 17 defensive rebounds to go with 6 offensive and 23 total rebounds. New York with only 14. Well, the Celtics obviously cracking the boards a little better. And when you look at these statistics, the Celtics shooting much better from the floor, percentage-wise, way out-rebounding them with a 9. Which would, if it went the same way in the second half, translate to an 18 rebound difference, which would be phenomenal. But yet with only a 4-point lead.
Well, the Knicks can be effective, as they have in the past in this rivalry this year, by playing Celtics very tough. As a matter of fact, the last game at home, they had a 1-point victory, the Celtics did. So when the Knicks dig in, they can get it done. But when they relax and, go through the motions that they're doing tonight, their biggest weaknesses are featured, and that's rebounding and defense. And if you're talking about a running game, that's where the Celtics have the advantage.
Okay, the Celtics are up by 4 points right now. We're going to be back with the start of the second half in just a little bit. It is 57-53, the Celtics. Santos and Bob Cousy at Madison Square Garden. Celtics leading 57-53. Here comes some statistics that we're going to put up on screen for you. And you can take a look at the way the two clubs have gone so far in the first half. One interesting statistic, Bob, and I've heard you say a million times that you can't win ball games or championships if the backcourt is doing a balance of the firepower. And you can see it right here. There's the Knicks scoring. Richardson 3, Westfall 10, Russell 9, Cartwright 9, Webster 8, Lucas and Newland 2. But the backcourt scored 25 of New York's 53 points. Conversely, for the Celtics, the front court, as you're going to see now, has scored 46 of the Celtics' 57.
Yeah, that's how you build, as you said, championship teams, and that's what surprises me in the Westfall pickup, because they seem to have realized this last year when they generated so much offense in the past 2 or 3 years out of their backcourt, and decided to switch and before Sly Williams left us for the season there, he and Maurice Lucas has been having a pretty good year. Cartwright can generate offense. So the point is they were going inside. Despite their lack of success, they seem to be changing their philosophy, and now, they've reverted back to the other way of guard-oriented offense. So little strange there.
Coming in, the Celtics were averaging 112. Defensively giving up 105. The Knicks were averaging 106 and giving up nearly 109. In the rebounding statistics, the Celtics were the big edge in the first half here. And over the course of the season, the Celtics have averaged 4 more rebounds a game.
Which is
than New York,
considerable,
which
by
is,
the way.
yeah, which is a big number. Okay, let's see who'll start the second half for New York. It'll be Paul Westphal and Michael Richardson at the guards, Campy Russell and Maurice Lucas at the forwards, Marvin Webster at center, same 5 that started the game. For the Celtics, the same 5 that, no, different 5. It'll be Tiny Archibald and Chris Ford at the guards. Robert Parrish in the middle, Cedric Maxwell and Larry Bird at the forwards. So for the first time in a while, 3 new starters in the second half for the Celtics. A couple of occasions they've gone with 2. Now they're going with 3. This is the team right now on the floor for the Celtics as Maxwell quickly gets 2. That started all of the games for the Celtics up until the point when Archibald, Bird, and Ford were hurt and were forced out of action. Nice play defensively by Chris Ford, but the ball is into the hands of Webster. And now Westphal, Richardson made a very difficult shot. He had an easier shot, I think, and he turned it into a difficult one.
Well, anytime, you know, you're alive with the ball and you've got the defense standing around, why there's an advantage, I guess, to taking it into the basket or attempting to. And this is what Richardson did. He turned down a 15-footer to try to create a layup.
Chris Ford has hit 4 shots and 4 tries in this game. He has 8 points right now. Celtics lead 61-55, a 6-point Boston lead. We've played 1 minute of the third quarter. Lucas with a little room, missing it, and 4 Celtics there for the rebound, but the loose ball comes out to Richardson.
Richardson is the second leading rebounder on this team, so he needs your attention under those boards. Good pass by Westphal.
Yes, an excellent pass. He drilled it right through to Richardson as the Celtics defense kind of lost track of Richardson. He has 17 points at this point in the game. Celtics with a 4-point edge. Archibald, Richardson on him. There's Parrish, who had 14 in the first half and then had to sit down with 3 personals. Over the top and missing the shot. Westphal, Richardson for New York. Webster in the cut. Nice move.
Well, it's a good job by the big guy. He let Bird go by and still maintained his balance and was able to make the shot. As we said earlier, Marvin is not the greatest shooter in the league, but he does a heck of a job here.
Great job.
Just avoids the contact and still makes the shot.
Bird on the baseline has 10 points now. Celtics by 4, 63-59. Just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Westphal, Chris Ford playing him. Runs into the Webster pick.
You notice Robert Parrish jump out there quickly, however, and that's very important. That pick man's got to be alert and he's got to be ready to help. Not necessarily switch, just help to discourage the shot. That's what he did on Westphal.
Celtics doubling up and they come away with a basketball. Ford, Bird, Parrish down the floor. Ball is out of bounds on the defensive play by Campy Russell as he got a hand in the way of the ball. Pass intended for Parrish.
Yeah. Larry established the triangle well on that break, but then he released it, I thought, prematurely. He went to the outside. He had to wait for Robert to get a little better position.
Parrish missing the shot in Westphal. 2-on-2 New York. Westphal dishing off. No basket. Richardson is fouled by Larry Bird. And for Larry Bird, his second personal foul. Campy Russell at the line to shoot pair of shots for New York. And he clanks the first one off. One more shot for Campy Russell, 78% foul shooter, averaging 14 a game coming in. He is their best three-point shooter, by the way. He's at 22 out of 49, nearly 50%.
That may be the highest in the league. I don't think he's in the top 10 only because he hasn't taken enough, but I bet that's the best percentage for three-pointers.
Chris Ford misses his first shot of the game. He had hit 4 in a row before that. Nice dish off. Great defensive play by Ford.
That's good job.
Outstanding.
Good anticipation. Sometimes the defense, tries to get it from behind because they're out of position or the lazy way. In this case, Chris had good pursuit, got back into the play. Richardson simply had to step and demonstrated some pretty good timing to get a hand on the ball.
All right, Lucas inbounds for New York to Marvin Webster with a running left-hander. Basket counts, and he's fouled by Parrish. That is 4 on Robert Parrish.
Okay, Marvin Must have heard us say he was a non-shooter. 12 points for Big Marv.
63 to 62. The Celtics lead is down to 1, and Webster can tie the game if he hits this. And he does.
He's only averaging 5.6 a game, so he's already doubled his output for the year.
Got 13 right now. Celtics are in a tie basketball game. Parrish has 4 personals, and McHale is getting set to check in for the Celtics. Archibald, downtown 20-footer for 2. Celtics with a 2-point lead. 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter from Madison Square Garden. Gil Santos and Bob Cousy here. Be on the air tomorrow night, 7:30 from Boston Garden. Celtics and New Jersey Nets. One of the more improved teams in the league. The steal by Bird. Good anticipation by Bird on the steal. Archibald around the Parrish pick. Dishing off to Maxwell. Oh, that was gorgeous. Watch this one.
I think the circus is still here. That was certainly an acrobatic move, I'll tell you. Watch Tiny. He draws the double coverage. Knows where that free man is. Max kind of walks his baseline, gets himself in the air, and dipsy doodles it in.
So the Celtics have broken the 63 all tie with 4 unanswered points. It's 67-63 Boston.
It's what goes on behind the shelves that makes a supermarket different.
Clarence, good to see you again.
When I buy meat for Stop and Shop, I like to see what I'm buying. I buy cattle that weigh about 1,100 pounds. Heavier cattle contain too much fat and bone. I also like to make sure they're fed a well-balanced diet. Knowing what I'm buying means Stop and Shop customers get a lot more for their meat dollar.
Stop and Shop. The difference is behind our shelves.
You're a growing business looking for money, and it seems wherever you turn, the odds are against you. Unless you find a bank that works with you. Bank of Boston. We've been working with growing companies for almost 200 years because we believe growing companies should get the money they deserve, and we know they can't afford to wait for it. That's why we offer so many alternatives to conventional financing and respond to our customers fast. Put the odds in your favor. Call Bank of Boston, the bank at work.
It's a match made in paradise. Hawaii 5-0 match game. Weekday afternoon starting at 4 on today's 4. I never go anywhere without my plants.
Interestingly enough, so far in the third quarter, and we've played 4 minutes, the Celtics do not have a rebound. There's Nick Tio of the New York Rangers, who'll be playing tonight here at Madison Square Garden against the Flyers in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Celtics don't have a rebound in this quarter. New York rebounded their own missed shot. They've only missed one shot.
I was going to say, it's probably because both teams have scored every time they've shot.
Lucas backing in and gets it. Well, the intensity has certainly picked up, Robert, since the first quarter when the two clubs were sleepwalking a bit.
It has, huh?
You don't think so?
Not appreciably.
High Bird, open. Lucas the rebound. The Knicks can tie. Good defensive play by Archibald to break up a potential New York fast break. Okay, Paul Westphal. As Chris Ford tries to guard him. Westphal, nice move. 12 points for Westphal. Tiny all the way through. Excellent feed to Maxwell. And a foul is called on the Knicks. It will be New York's, I believe, first team foul. Watch the pass from Tiny.
Here's Tiny's move. Again, the effectiveness of a good penetrator because he not only draws those big men, that time it was Lucas, but you notice they're going up in the air to attack Tiny. They should stay, if they're going to leave their man to try to help out on Tiny, they've got, a severe height advantage anyway. They should come in under control and try to make it difficult to find the open man that way as opposed to jumping in the air. When they get up off their feet, why, it's duck soup for Tiny because it gives them many more options. And we saw him do it to Max on that acrobatic move Max made a while ago with two big guys up in the air waving their arms and their legs. 16 points in the game now for Cedric Maxwell. The Celtics are on top again by 2, 69 to 67. Campy Russell for the Knicks.
Westfall, nice feed, to Maurice Lucas. Oh, it's tied at 69 apiece.
That's good play there by Westfall. A little pick and roll move. Lucas used his body well.
But Maxwell mugged that time when he got the ball. The foul was on Westfall, his third, and the second on New York as a team. So the Celtics will inbound. You look at Bill Fitch watching the game, studying. 69 to 69, 6.5 minutes to go. McHale, who checked into the game a few moments ago, replacing Robert Parrish, who's out with 4 personals right now. Archibald on the miss, and it'll be New York ball. Lucas inbounds to Westfall. Westfall slides around the Webster pick, who's now left open. And, of course, they would let him shoot from out there. Not from in there, though. The Knicks have the lead. They're 8 for 9 in the third quarter, and for the first time since the first quarter, New York leads, but Archibald wheels and deals to tie it up.
Good job, and he complimented the other 2 penetrations well. In other words, he looked to lay off in those 2. That time he faked as if he was going to lay off, took it up himself.
71 to 71, 5:46 left third quarter from Madison Square. Richardson gets his own rebound, misses the shot. Maxwell gets the rebound, and a foul is called on Richardson. Chris Ford will come out for the Celtics, and M.L. Carr will replace him. Here's Richardson picking up his 4th foul of the game.
Now it is. He draws the third double, but still beats him to the ball after establishing an inside position on Tiny.
Archibald now has Carr in as his running mate at guard. McHale, Maxwell, and Bird up front. Carr spinning through, kicking it back out. 2. Nice work by Carr. He was off balance and in danger of losing the ball. All right, Westfall back for New York. 73-71. Celtics are leading. 5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Webster almost walked. Russell. Webster. Lucas knocked the ball out of bounds as he went over Bird. Because I see a fan here at the game. There's Randy Smith in for New York replacing Michael Richardson. I see a fan here at the game with an outfit that I want to get you. You see that guy over there in the corner with a white derby, a white shirt, and the green shamrocks all over it? I think that would look great on you.
That's one day a year outfit, though.
I think that would look...
Other than March 17th, you have a little trouble wearing that to your average church social.
Well, this is April, what is it, April 8th today? And he's wearing that outfit. I think that would look sharp on you. Look great on camera.
I'm ready.
He's got a white derby with green satin shamrocks and a white shirt with green satin shamrocks.
He's a leftover from the circus, too, I think.
Foul was committed by Webster, and that is his 3rd personal. On New York, they have 3 as a team. No, 4. 2 for Cedric Maxwell with 18 points now. He is the Celtic high scorer. And he may be the game high scorer. Let me check here. Maurice Lucas dropping in a pair.
Yes, he is. Michael Richardson's got 17 for New York.
Celtics go into McHale, and Webster quickly picks up his 4th personal foul. Webster's been playing very well in this game. He has 4 personals now. The Knicks have 5 as a team in the quarter, and Cartwright will come in to replace Marvin Webster. Marvin Webster is out with 4 personals, and Bill Cartwright is in.
That's the 15th foul, evidently, on the Knicks as well, so Kevin will be going to the line.
1 plus the bonus. 12 points now for McHale. 76-73. Celtics with a 3-point lead and 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And now it's a 4-point lead.
Well, it's the type of game that I'm sure Bill Fitch would like to see a little daylight opened in, you know, because it's been fluctuating around 3 or 4 points, and you obviously can't feel safe with that small a lead, so in the last couple of minutes, anything can happen.
McHale for the rebound, and he has the ball knocked out of his hands by Maurice Lucas. It'll be Boston ball.
The intensity is picking up a bit, by the way, defensively on the part of both teams. Yeah.
All right, 3.5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Archibald and now Bird. McHale, of course. Hey, that's his move. The Celtics on a run here now of 6 unanswered points. They lead at 79-73. Randy Smith, Paul Westphal, Campy Russell, Bill Cartwright, Maurice Lucas on the floor for the Knicks. Cartwright in strong. Bird stripped the ball, but a foul is called on Larry Bird, his 3rd personal foul.
That's Bird's 3rd personal foul. 3rd.
And Cartwright will be at the line shooting 2 for New York.
Bill Cartwright, 2 shots.
Bill Cartwright, you see, has 9 points so far in the game, averaging nearly 15 a game coming in. You know, the Knicks are a team with some size. Cartwright up around 7 feet. Marvin Webster, a 7-footer. And yet, they don't have that many blocked shots. As a team, the Knicks have only blocked 306 shots in the season. On the other side, the Celtics have blocked 513.
Yeah, Marvin will get to a few, and occasionally Lucas can block a shot. But by and large, they don't have anyone with that kind of timing who can do it consistently.
Webster is their leading shot blocker with 81. McHale gets another block. That's his 2nd of the game. M.L. Carr catches up with the ball. Does a nice job to get it to Archibald.
Celtics are toying with him now. They're really...
Oh, look at this. Oh, look at the pass work. Basket won't go, but sensational pass work by the Celtics. Great movement of the basketball by the Celtics. They're going to be at the foul line when we come back. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. It is the Celtics on top, 79-75.
Control 6 to base. Looks like this big old hole in the ground is going to be safe for the night. Over.
They come out all beat. It's Miller time. Miller time. Time to appreciate the difference between a good beer
When it's time to relax
and a great beer.
One beer stands clear.
Miller High Life.
You got the time. We got the beer. Some Miller time. We got the beer.
Once again, American technology rises to the occasion. An American radial tire specially designed to replace the original tires on your small import with the exact metric size, the Kelly Metric. Born of American computer technology to give you outstanding performance on American roads. The Kelly Metric steel-belted radial, the American tire for your imported car. Kelly Springfield, we're out to change America's tires.
Go with the winning teams this season, the Boston Celtics, Kelly and Merchants Tire Company. Merchants has 9 convenient locations throughout eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island to serve you.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy at Madison Square Garden in New York. It is 79-75 the Celtics with 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Mike Newland is checking in for the Knicks, so it'll be Newland and Randy Smith at the guards. Bill Cartwright at center. Campy Russell and Maurice Lucas are the forwards. There's the guy I was talking about. There's the outfit I was talking about, Coos. If you had that outfit on...
I've got 6 of those at home. I don't even wear them anymore.
You'd look like $1 million. I guess he's a Celtic fan.
What gave you the 1st and 2nd clues?
The white gloves.
I see.
Free throw by Maxwell. Max is now at 19 points and counting. One more from the pride of Kinston, North Carolina. Cedric Maxwell. Misses this one, and the ball is out of bounds. They should call Smith for a loose ball foul. They do. Randy Smith commits the loose ball foul, and Larry Bird will go to the line for 1 plus the bonus.
Larry Bird.
1 shot plus the bonus for Larry Bird. 2:31 left here in the third quarter. Bird missing the front end. 80-75. The Celtics lead by 5. Their biggest lead was 10. 39-29 in the second quarter. The Knicks shaved that to 4 at the half and have tied it a couple of times here in the third quarter and gone ahead once, as a matter of fact. The Celtics are now back up to a lead of 6. Randy Smith. Cartwright jump hook. Oh, the lead is back to 4. Tomorrow night will be on the air at 7:30 from the Garden. The Celtics and New Jersey Nets.
Should be a good one. New Jersey's playing extremely well, despite Larry Brown's humble approach, really. He's done a fine job, and they're fighting for that playoff berth, so they'll give the Celtics a tough one, I would think, tomorrow night.
Cartwright on the rebound of the Maxwell missed shot with 1:50 to go here in the third quarter. Smith works it into Lucas as he wound up underneath the hoop.
Lucas has been playing extremely well the last couple of months. This has not been one of his better games, however. Bird from outside.
Larry Bird drops in a snowflake from about 20 feet. 83-77. Celtics with a 6-point lead. By the way, I want to thank our colleague in sports reporting, Tom Cuddy, who gave me a call the other night. We were talking about that great Indiana championship team that had 4 people drafted in the first round, and all 5 of their starters ended up in the NBA. He called me this morning and said, Tom Abernethy. That's all he had to say, and I knew that was the 5th guy we were looking for. Missed shot, but the Celtics controlled the basketball. Bird looking for 2 in a row.
Automatic, isn't it? He's like a shotgun. No wasted motion. Just holds it high and drills it in.
When he measures that one, and
yeah,
it's all over. 55 seconds left to play here in the third quarter as the Knicks have grabbed a quick 20-second breather here. The Celtics with a 6-point lead. They were down 71-69, which was New York's first lead since the first quarter.
I saw someone's assessment recently about, the various teams in the playoffs and how to beat them type of thing. It was the coach doing the talking. He was saying that the, Celtics were looked on paper as the strongest team in the league, but the way to beat them was what most teams have been trying to do, collapse inside, because their outside shooting was suspect. And I'll tell you, I don't know.
What games was he watching?
I know. If he thinks the Celtics have not been shooting well from outside this year, he hasn't seen them too often.
My.
Well, relatively, because of the strength of their inside game, as we pointed out, that may be so, but, they're stronger. Their inside game perhaps is a bit more effective than their outside game, but it certainly isn't a weakness. And most teams have been trying to do that. They have been collapsing, falling off, giving the outside, and trying to shut down the inside. And it hasn't worked because the Celtics have drawn them out with their outside shooting.
Kevin McHale has just picked up 2 fouls in the last 20 seconds, and he now has 4 in the game. Robert Parrish also has 4. Oh, the Celtics are going to be sending Rick Roby in. 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Bill Fitch sending Rick Roby in. He'll be replacing Kevin McHale, who has 4 personals. Cartwright pulled the string on it.
I guess this big kid has been somewhat of a disappointment to the Knicks. They thought they had themselves a good one when Cartwright came out of San Francisco a few years ago, but now he's, lately he's lost his starting job to Marvin Webster.
Missed them both.
I think Jake O'Donnell is possibly going to give him another one.
Yeah, foul lane violation by the Celtics, and so Cartwright will get one more free throw. Of course, Bill Cartwright was drafted the 3rd player taken in the country the year he came out in 79, and he was the Knicks' first-round pick. Cartwright managed to miss all 3.
I'll tell you, you don't get a chance at a hat trick anymore. This might be the first time this year since the elimination of the 3 for 2. Guys haven't been able to get up there. I'm sure they're happy because, that'll go off of Larry Bird's leg.
Yes.
Both Middleton and O'Donnell on the play.
Cartwright was drafted with one of the picks the Knickerbockers got from the Celtics in the Bob McAdoo deal. First turnover for the Celtics in the third quarter. How about that, folks? I don't think New York will get a shot off. They won't. They did not get the shot off in time, and so the Celtics, after 3 quarters, are holding on to a 6-point lead. This lead is spread out from 1 in the first quarter to 4 at halftime, and now it is a 6-point Boston lead after 3, 85-79.
The service visit. It's a drain on your company's budget. And the sad truth is, many service visits turn out to be routine and unnecessary.
It's just a reset button.
That's why many companies have found a way to avoid them and still keep customers happy. It's the telephone. If you gave one of your service people a phone, you'd be surprised at how many problems he could solve in seconds.
Mrs. Gersten?
Yes?
Okay, let's see. Have you checked the reset button?
Right. Okay,
Just look underneath the disposal.
You'd also be using a simple form of telemarketing. Someday you may even set up your own telemarketing center, using Bell System technology and expertise to handle customer problems and complaints.
No problem. We'll take care of it right away.
So make telemarketing a part of your customer service organization and watch everything start to run more smoothly.
It helps you do more business.
It's working.
Every business day.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy whipping it up here at Madison Square Garden. 85-79 Celtics. Tonight at 10 on Channel 4, Hill Street Blues. LaRue and Washington track down a prostitute's killer, while Henry and Blaker pose as cabbies to catch a mugger. Hill Street Blues, highly acclaimed, tonight at 10 on Channel 4. There's our man, K.C. Jones. All right, leading scorers in the game. Cedric Maxwell, 19 for the Celtics. Richardson, 17. Webster, 15 for the Knicks. On the floor for the Celtics to start the 4th quarter, Tiny Archibald, M.L. Carr, Cedric Maxwell, Rick Roby, Larry Bird. For New York, Mike Newland, Randy Smith, Bill Cartwright, Toby Knight, Campy Russell. Randy Smith in a bit of a dilemma. Archibald tying him up a bit. Now Knight, Cartwright, foul is going to be called on Roby, as he appeared to have Cartwright by the wrist as Cartwright came sliding through the middle. First team foul on the Celtics in the 4th quarter. All right, Russell, now Cartwright and Russell again. Through 3 quarters, the Celtics have shot 55% from the floor, the Knicks 49. And a foul is going to be called on the Knicks. That foul is going to be handed to Bill Cartwright. Offensive foul. Archibald with the basketball for the Celtics. Bird marching to the hoop, and a foul called on, I believe it's Russell. Or is it? Yeah, it is Campy Russell. That is his 2nd personal and the 1st on New York as a team. We'll be on the air tomorrow night, 7:30 from Boston Garden, the Celtics and New Jersey Nets. Right now, we have not had a point scored yet in the 3rd quarter. We've only played about 36 seconds. What did I say, 3rd quarter? 4th quarter.
Whatever you'd like. I'm with you.
I'm having such a good time. I just wanted to keep right on going. Bird makes it 86-79.
Whatever you say. You notice I went right along with it. You want to play an extra quarter today? That's fine.
You're easy to get along with, Coos.
Absolutely.
That's why I want to get you that outfit with the Shamrocks and the Derby. I mean, that is you. The outfit that guy has on, would you call him a dandy? Is that one of the phrases? Snappy dressing.
Things I'm sure that guy's been called with that outfit. I don't know if dandy has been one of them, however.
Bird. Great play by Richardson.
Good job.
On the interception.
Michael Ray. Good speed.
Toby Knight gets 2. That was a great play by Richardson defensively. Great athletic move. 87-81. Celtics by 6.
Celtics looking to go inside to Bird with the Russell matchup.
Foul called. Hold everything. Foul called on the Celtic. Hold it. Loose ball foul on New York's Toby Knight. Watch it.
There's the Bird jumper. Russell with the good hair. Yeah, Toby. I know. Richardson was a little upset at the call, but he didn't see the foul, evidently.
Knight complained.
Well, there was no blood underneath. You know, they feel if they don't see the red stuff, it shouldn't be called.
Sweet move by Max. 21 points for Cedric Maxwell, game high score.
If Max is allowed to operate in there, you know, you've got to muscle him a little bit to keep him from getting the position, the ball, and then letting him do what he wants once he does get it. But if he's allowed to operate, wow, he has developed some moves that are just incredible. He's going to do a number on about any defensive man in the league.
Toby Knight on the bank shot. Celtics with a 6-point lead, 10 minutes to go in the game. 89-83. All right, Archibald now as the Celtics have set up a pick for Bird low, and he has the ball knocked out of his hands by Russell. Coming into the game for the Knicks now, Westfall and Lucas, they replace Knight, and I think Russell also went out for New York. Now Gerald Henderson comes in for the Celtics, replacing Tiny Archibald. Now Knight stayed in. Lucas and Westfall came in, and a whistle. Foul on Maurice Lucas. His third personal. Smith has gone out for New York. The Knicks have Richardson in there with Westfall, Cartwright, Lucas, and Knight. Larry Bird missing about a 23-footer. Bird limping back up the floor as he slipped a little bit after taking the shot. Knight on the miss. Lucas on the rebound. And the Knicks are within 4. 89-85. 9:20 to go in the game.
I'll tell you, the Celtics are letting them hang around, and they may pay the penalty for that one, because they could have had this game over with a long time ago. The Knicks are starting to come to life just a bit now.
Foul on Cedric Maxwell, offensive foul. The Knicks, by the way, have 4 team fouls here in the third quarter, and the next one will put the Celtics at the foul line. Robert Parrish is in and Rick Roby out for the Celtics. Richardson's jumper is going to be short. Bird picks it out of midair. 3-on-1. Say goodnight. Well, you knew that one was all over. The Celtics, a classic 3-man fast break. 91-85. Westfall throwing it right into the hands of M.L. Carr. Great lead pass to Henderson.
Beautiful.
Beautiful job. Oh, what a fine pass by M.L. Carr. 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks have called for a timeout. So it is now Boston by 8. The Celtics 93, the New York Knicks 85.
Here's two good friends tonight.
Haven't we been down there long enough?
I know how to get them up. Must say something more. What are you doing? Fishing. So tonight, let it be low and brown.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown.
Why were you guys down there so long?
Just waiting for a good reason to come up.
Let it be low and brown.
Be sure to play our $20 million quality game. Think I could win? Sure. Hundreds of thousands of possible winners every day.
Wouldn't mind winning some of this 100% all-American beef.
Maybe we're an instant winner. Coca-Cola, a quarter pounder, maybe even $500,000. Oh, I can't look.
You won!
I won! I won! I won! I bet you can.
At McDonald's.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy at Madison Square Garden. 93-85. The Celtics an 8-point lead with 8.5 minutes to go. After this game, we'll have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 more telecasts for you on Channel 4 in the regular season. Tomorrow night, the Celtics and Nets from the Boston Garden. Next Tuesday at 8:30, the Celtics and Bulls from Chicago here on TV4. And a week from tomorrow night, the Celtics and Nets in New Jersey. Those will be our final 3 regular season telecasts. Then, of course, we'll go on into the playoffs. Celtics needing 3 wins, or any combination of 3 Celtic wins and Philadelphia losses to wrap up the Atlantic Division. All right, Richardson to the hoop. Oh,
that's good
that
job.
Was nice.
Yeah, he faked the defense off as if he was going to lay down a Lucas, and it was effective.
Richardson, 6'5".
Yeah, he's really
Good
got
size.
some excellent moves. The only knock on him over the years is that he is not always in control, and he certainly can't function as a playmaking guard, which he had to do a lot of the times last year.
There are 3 seconds on the shot clock. Parrish gets it away, gets his own rebound. I believe those are Robert's first points since the first half.
Yes, they are, since the first quarter, as a matter of
Yep.
fact. He got 14 in the first quarter, and that's his first 2 for 16.
Lucas. Oh! Foul number 5 on Parrish. He went for the ball and got a bit of Lucas's arm. That is the 5th foul of the game on Robert Parrish with 7.5 minutes to play. Celtics' second team foul of the 4th quarter. Celtics right now are leading by 8 points, and Lucas will shoot 2 for the Knicks. For the game so far, the Celtics are 36 for 67, about 53%. The Knicks 35 for 71, just under 50%. Rebounding, the Celtics 41-34 advantage. Lucas hitting both. 95-89, 7:20 to go. Henderson. Now Cedric Maxwell, who is the game's high scorer with 21 points. Hits the Chief. Henderson penetrating nicely. Up over Marvin Webster. That was a nice move. Bob, when you nod, they don't hear you. Now he's nodding no. Layup by Westfall.
That's a big interview on radio, right? Where you ask the big question with 6 minutes to kill, and the guy gives you a nod.
Well, I'll tell you, that happened to me once. Doing a fine feed from Henderson, but just led Bird a little bit too much.
He got, Lowry got hung up. I don't know whether the guy grabbed him or he just got delayed trying to go back door, but Gerald actually made a good pass.
Yeah, I think you're right. Gerald did make a good pass, and Bird didn't get to the spot.
Good defensive play by Robert on Michael Lee.
3-on-2. Pull-up doesn't go. Lucas and now Webster, and a foul on Gerald Henderson. 6:15 left to play in the game. The Celtics with a 6-point lead, 97-91. Archibald in and Henderson out for the Celtics.
The second personal foul, Boston's third team foul. Nate Archibald, number 7, is in for the Celtics. He's late to Gerald Henderson.
All right, Paul Westfall to win bounds for the Knicks to Campy Russell. You're looking at Michael Richardson now. Russell, baseline on 6 seconds on the shot clock. And ML Carr will catch up to this one. Celtics are 3-on-3. And they'll have to regroup. Larry Bird, now Carr to Parrish, and knocked out by Lucas.
Celtics continue to try to make that additional pass. 2 or 3 of them had the outside shot there before, well, Knicks get it back.
Ball is out of bounds off Larry Bird. Richardson down the floor, and Bird got to the spot. And prevented Richardson from getting the fast break layup, and the ball went off Michael Richardson.
Yeah, they gave it right back. Good steal off Bird in the corner. We said after they had done a good job trying to pick up the best possible shot. Robert Parrish.
Loose ball going to be called here.
I think it hit that 24-second clock. It sounded like it did.
No, it went over just over the top of the backboard.
That's his fourth personal foul.
Lucas picks up his 4th personal foul, and that is the 5th on the Knicks as a team, and so Maxwell's at the line to shoot 1 plus the bonus. Cedric has 21 points so far. 5:24 left to play. The Celtics have not been able to shake the Knicks all day long.
Jake O'Donnell is going to give Max an additional foul shot here.
Okay. Cartwright moved into the lane. Earlier, Cartwright got an additional shot and had missed all 3. So Cedric still has 2 shots. .22 points for Max. And one more. Picture of concentration as you look at Cedric Maxwell. Missing the second. So it remains 98-91. The Celtics by 7 with 5:20 to go in the game. Campy Russell. Westfall. Dishing off, and Carr with a loose ball.
I'll tell you, Maurice Lucas has done absolutely everything wrong in this game that he could possibly do. He's been caught grabbing pants 3 times now for 5 of the fouls.
5 personals on Lucas.
Yeah.
Bill Cartwright in for New York, and Maurice Lucas out.
He just has not played a good basketball game, and he's literally been carrying this team, I'm told, the last, well, carrying him in the sense that he's played well, because the team has not done very well, as we pointed out.
Celtics have missed several foul shots here in the second half. We'll total it up for you in just a little bit. ML gets 1 out of the 2, so the lead is 8 points with 5 minutes left. Paul Westfall. He'll be here in New York all of next season, as he missed most of this year. Webster low, left-handed hook. Didn't even hit the rim.
That's a little more like the Marvin that we know and love. Larry Bird throws it away. Good anticipation by man that size. Caught right, just spun back and intercepted.
Richardson around the pick, and he clanked it up off the glass, and Bird gets the rebound, and Richardson, 3rd time in the game he's done that. 3rd time in this game that Richardson has slipped in behind one of the Celtics big men and knocked the ball away.
Well,
Richardson came in with 193 steals.
For you kids out there who play under that basket, I'm sure your coach has already told you, once you get that defensive rebound, don't bring it down.
Parrish missing the shot, and a foul called on the Knicks. Foul is on Lucas.
This Bird with a good position absorbs a little bit of a bump, and Robert Parrish is right there to get the rebound and pick up the foul.
Marvin Webster picking up the foul. Celtics have missed 8 free throws in the game, 20 out of 28 so far. Make it 9. They're shooting about 70% from the line in this game. On the season, they're shooting 74 as a team. Oh, it is 193. 4 minutes left in the game. Westfall. You know, early in the game, Bob, you said Westfall was taking an awful lot of shots. He hasn't taken one in quite a while. He goes out of bounds with the ball.
I haven't seen Paul play in a while. He's really lost a step, if you notice. He's having a lot of trouble getting away from his man. He used to be as effective as one-on-one player, but it's because he had that good, you know, speed and quickness. It seems to me either he hasn't completely recovered or rounded into shape, but he definitely is a little slower than before the injury.
Carr missing the shot. Bodies are all over the floor at the other end. Campy Russell takes it in. My goodness, play's getting a trifle rough, folks. Parrish gets the rebound. We're going to get a loose ball foul on, if it's Parrish, it's 6. It is Robert Parrish. That is his 6th personal of the game. Coming with 3:27 left. Robert fouls out with 17 points on the afternoon. And now Kevin McHale checks in. He has 4 personals. Celtics now have Carr and Archibald, Bird, Maxwell, and McHale. Go ahead, Bob.
I'm sure Bill Fitch, you know, does not want to lose Robert Parrish for many, many reasons, but I'll tell you, I'm not sure the Knicks, from what I've seen so far, are capable of exploiting it. I think they could foul all the green shirts out, and they still couldn't win the game. It's really 5 individuals out there. They have no idea of what to do offensively in terms of doing it together. You know, there's simply no cohesiveness there.
Celtics lead is 5 points, 195. 4 seconds on the shot clock. ML Carr's runner, no. Loose ball, McHale, blocked, but a foul on the Knicks. I think it'll be on Richardson. It is. That's his 5th personal foul, and we'll have McHale at the line. Watch it. It's coming up.
Well, he had an opportunity here to cut it down a little bit. ML with a little off-balance shot. Noticed a good rebound by Webster, but he doesn't quite have the good control. Someone knocks it out of his hand. McHale brings it back in, and then he just clobbers McHale.
Okay, 2:49 left to go in the game. The Celtics are up by 5, 100-95.
Behind the specials on Stop and Shop shelves is an army of buyers. Every day, they comb the market for values that mean big savings for Stop and Shop customers. When our buyers hear of a good deal, they buy in large quantities and stock our warehouse so low prices last longer.
Like Tetley tea bags and Colonial Easter Polska kielbasa.
Stop and Shop. The difference is behind our shelves.
Some ideas are so simple, they're easy to overlook. Some so complicated, they're hard to understand. Others have even been called long shots. At Bank of Boston, we're looking for smaller companies with big ideas. Our business is to recognize them and develop them. To us, it's not the size of your company, it's the size of your idea. Put your bright idea to work at New England's leading bank, Bank of Boston. The bank at work.
Gil Santos and Bob Cousy here at Madison Square Garden. Celtics leading 100-95. Stay tuned following this afternoon Celtics game for Hawaii 5-0. And the storyline, a wealthy rancher intends to administer his own kind of justice to the suspected killer of his son. Hawaii 5-0 this afternoon after the Celtics game on Channel 4. I think a lot of people have been walking in here since the game started. They have. A crowd is given to us at 11,916.
Oh, it's probably an early crowd for the hockey game, I think.
Yeah. And let's see, we'll have Kevin McHale at the line shooting 2 for the Celtics. Celtics looking to stretch a 5-point lead to 7 here. 101-95, 16 for McHale. It is a 7-point Boston lead. 2 minutes, 49 seconds left to play. In case you're wondering about New York three-point shooters, if it becomes a factor, Campy, Russell,
Westfall will get it up
Richardson
there, too.
and Westfall are all three-point shooters. Westfall does not hit that one. And Bird tips the rebound to Tiny Archibald.
Yeah, Paul is struggling. He is just not freeing himself quite from the defensive pressure. You know, whether he uses the pick or whether he does it on his own. It's a subtle change there, but it sometimes can make a great deal of difference as far as your effectiveness on a shot.
5 seconds on the shot clock for the Celtics. Archibald three-point shot does not go. Cartwright the rebound. Westfall on Bird. No. Richardson loses the ball. Scramble.
Good job. Michael Ray digs it out. Gives Westfall another shot at it.
Nice job. Good hustle by Michael Richardson. So with 1:55 to go, the Celtics lead by 5. 102-97. Archibald double-teamed as he gets over midcourt. Now there's Larry Bird. The Celtics spread it out. In the middle to McHale. Nice work.
Yeah, New York trying to trap the ball, but again, without the fast, quick players out there, all it does is make you vulnerable and produces a layup for the opposition. Celtics exploited that very well and quickly.
Cartwright. Air ball. Put in by Lucas. 1.5 minutes left. Celtics still with a 5-point lead. Celtics have been behind in the second half only once, and that was 71-69.
Again, New York in a trapping posture, and you see the Celtics running the clock down and also spreading their offense out. Tiny playing traffic cop out there.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Bird takes it. Does not get it. Maxwell the rebound. Ball comes to Larry Bird, and he tips it to Maxwell.
Goes back to the Celtics. Again, they run the clock down. 15 seconds left. 1 minute in the game.
All right, Archibald getting Westfall to hit the deck. Celtics doing a great job of just moving the ball around and keeping it away from New York. The foul called on Campy Russell. That'll put Tiny Archibald to the line for 1 plus the bonus. With 48 seconds to play in the game and the Celtics leading 5, 104-99. There you see one of Tiny's more impressive statistics, 5th in the league in assists, averaging nearly 8 per game. Tiny does not hit the free throw. That's, what, 10 foul shots the Celtics have missed in the game. One more for Archibald. Gets that one. New York grabs a timeout with 46 seconds left to play, 48 seconds left to play in the game. The Knicks take a timeout. So there is timeout on the floor at Madison Square Garden in New York with a score. The world champion Celtics 105, the Knickerbockers 99.
My buddy and I were discussing the best way to show off in the yellow pages.
People impressed with size, Kenny. You have to have a big ad.
No, Tommy, they want a little color, a little showmanship. The new red ads are better.
Big is better.
Red.
Big is better.
Listen, guys, if you really want to show off, you gotta run an ad that's big and red.
Show off a little.
Big.
Red.
In the yellow pages.
Here's to good friends.
Wow.
Good night.
Now I see why you guys dragged me up here. Ooh, hey.
Hit him with the best part.
Bet the Lowenbrow's still cold. You brought Lowenbrow all the way up here? No. You did.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
You're not mad at us, are you, Pete?
No.
Just lucky it was Lowenbrow.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
Stay tuned following this afternoon Celtics game for Hawaii 5-0 after the Celtics-Knicks game here on Channel 4. 48 seconds left to play. The Celtics leading 105-99. The Celtics have led at all stops. 28-27 in the quarter, 57-53 at the half, 85-79 after 3 quarters. Boston's biggest lead has been 10. The Celtics' biggest deficit very early in the game was 4. Celtics have pretty much controlled it. Once they took the lead in the second half, they have, or in the second quarter, in the first quarter, they have been ahead all the way with one short exception in the third quarter. Campy Russell's three-point shot. No good. Oh, good job by Lucas going high up for the boards.
I tell you, when you can win away from home without breaking a sweat, it's a good win.
Celtics up by 4 with 35 seconds left, and Westphal fouls Archibald. That is 5 on Paul Westphal. There's Red Holtzman, New York head coach.
The winningest coach in professional basketball.
Talk around New York is of all kinds of people perhaps being their new head coach next season.
Well, they say Sonny Werblin had a chat with Dave Gabbett a while ago, but I'm sure David, with the job he's done with that Big East, he's got that thing flying, and I'm sure it'd be pretty difficult to get David to leave that responsibility.
Well, the understanding I had was that he had turned it down at the time. 34 seconds left. Archibald hitting the 2 free throws, so the Celtics have a 6-point lead with 34 seconds left to play in the game. I want to remind you, by the way, tomorrow night. Go ahead. I just want to remind the folks about tomorrow night, the Celtics and New Jersey Nets from Boston Garden is our next telecast at 7:30, and then next week we'll have 2 of them for you. Chicago game on Tuesday night at 8:30 from Chicago, and Friday night the Nets and Celtics in New Jersey. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I was going to say there's also talk that Dave DeBusschere might be coming back in an administrative capacity at least. Michael Burke, the president of the Knicks, I think went across the Great Waters and retired to Ireland, I understand. And so they're looking to fill that vacancy. They're anticipating a coaching vacancy. I imagine that some bodies are going to change. You talked about Michael Ray, who I guess has been trying to get them to renegotiate his contract all year long, and the Knicks have remained adamant, and the result has been that Michael Ray, he's been effective against the Celtics, but I don't know if he's had the best year for him. People feel that perhaps he's upset because they would not renegotiate. In any event, I think their biggest need, as we said earlier, is a playmaker to kind of try to add some cohesiveness offensively. So rebounding-wise, they are not a strong team on paper rebounding-wise, but, they figure to be when you see the guys they have, Webster, Cartwright, Lucas, all can get a job done. Sly Williams has got to get his act straightened out because he can be an effective player in this league. So there's some potential here if they can fill some spots.
3-point shot by Westphal misses. Loose ball, and the Celtics come up with it. 25 seconds left to go. The Celtics with a 6-point lead. Archibald over midcourt is fouled by Westphal. And he's gone. That's 6 on Westphal. So Westfall finishes with 16 points in the game, fouls out, and Randy Smith will replace him. 21 seconds left. Tiny Archibald to shoot 1 plus the bonus for the Celtics. They're going to give Tiny 2 shots. No, they didn't say intentional foul. It's 1 plus the bonus. Oh, it's 108 to 101. One more for Nate Archibald. Makes them both. 109, 101, 21 seconds left to go in the basketball game. Richardson, up floor for New York, is fouled by Tiny Archibald. And that is the 5th on the Celtics in the 4th quarter. So Richardson will shoot 1 plus the bonus with 16 seconds left in the game. 16 seconds left to play. 109, 101. Celtics. Hawaii 5-0 immediately following the game. Bill Cartwright goes out for the Knicks, and Toby Knight replaces him.
Toby struggling to come back from that knee injury that threatened his career there. He's still limping a little bit out there. I'll tell you, he was a very effective defensive player, I thought, when he first came into the league. And he could keep you honest offensively as well, but his strength was defense. Full court zone pressure. You see the way he's hopping around, he's still not running properly.
McHale to Archibald. We have 10 seconds left. Archibald is fouled by Toby Knight. And so with 9 seconds to go, Archibald will shoot 1 plus the bonus. 6-point Celtics lead. We said earlier they trailed early in the first quarter, went ahead in the first quarter, maintained the lead throughout just about all of the ball game with one brief New York 2-point lead early in the 3rd quarter. Other than that, the Celtics have led virtually all the way. 110, 103.
I think they've got a tremendous advantage in a loosely played game like this, in that, you know, they can let down and not play their best, but I'll tell you, as we've said before, they're so well structured, so well disciplined as a team that, you know they're going to stay better disciplined than the team that is not. And as a result, have an advantage in this type of game.
Michael Ray Richardson hits a 3-point shot to end the game, and the Celtics end up winning it by 4 points. Final score is 110 to 106. We'll be right back with our wrap-up to see if we have a Stop and Shop customer match for our Celtic player of the game.